I very nearly muted myself again instead of... sorry, I very nearly ended the stream instead of unmuting myself again. One day, I gotta actually just move those buttons around. I just gotta move those buttons around on my stream deck. It's the only thing for it. Otherwise, I am just gonna keep accidentally freaking ending the stream just as we finish the starting screen. Which isn't great. It's not great, but it's super professional, which is what you can really expect from here. I hope everybody is doing well. I know it's been a while since I last streamed. I don't usually take a week off in the middle of a month. But I will be taking the first off the beginning of April as usual. Because I think the last thing I need to do right now is burn the candle at both ends. So I'm going to keep to my usual schedule and hopefully things will just figure themselves out because I don't know what the hell they're doing so far. My week off was... it was fine. I'm glad I got to spend some time with my family. But it didn't really solve anything that I hoped it would. I don't really know what I was expecting, to be honest. Don't really know what I was expecting, but... I think the key issue is not something that can be solved with just a brief timeout, so... baby steps. Baby steps. But yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. I am feeling... better today. Well, it didn't help that, geez, my first full day back home, I ended up with that, if you follow my Twitter, I ended up with a huge nosebleed, like, first thing. I'd barely been out of bed, I'd just fed the cat, and I got this huge nosebleed. Usually they last all of about 15 seconds. This one lasted about 10 minutes, and it just would not stop. And I felt extremely lightheaded afterwards, and wheezy, which was really awkward considering it was my niece's first birthday up in my parents' house, which I had ironically just left. The only reason I didn't stay longer and just make the two things is because my niece's presents were in here, so I wanted to go home and get them, see Toby again, sort all that out. And literally like 15-20 minutes after my nosebleed stopped, my sister was meant to come pick me up. I warned her that I'd had a nosebleed, but I'd probably be fine. We had not even hit the first roundabout outside my house, my flat, before I felt like I was gonna puke. Just the motion, my niece like excitedly screaming in the back seat. I just thought, I'm gonna puke in my sister's car. And I did not want to do that. So I was like, can you just drop me at A&E, please? Just, you know, just to be on the safe side. And she did. She offered to stay, but the kids were being a bit... well, terrible twos will do that. So she just laughed and I let her. I said it was fine to just go, and A&E people were very nice. It was just... yeah, it's just that after you've had a nosebleed, or while you're having a nosebleed, you're actually supposed to, like, stop the, like, put pressure on your nose for a good 30 minutes. I did not do that. I literally just stuck a piece of toilet up my nose a couple of times and hoped that, and went back to work at my desk. I just did not expect it to last that long. It will be that heavy. It wasn't nice. And I felt ill just the rest of the day. Like, I walked back from A&E, which luckily is not very far. And I just went to bed. I just went to bed and I watched Star Trek and I fell asleep and it was fine. But yeah, I did have a good time with my family, and no, nosebleeds are not fun. Also, hello Watered, how are you doing? How are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. Oh, jeez, I'm suddenly too warm. Every single time I, like, think, oh, I'm cold, I'll put this on. Oh, no, I'm too hot. And I kid you not, I will be cold again in, like, 5 minutes. I will. But yeah, nosebleeds, not fun. Not fun at all. The 15-second ones I can handle, no problem. It's literally just, well, that's kind of inconvenient.
I'm not used to people sticking around when things go bad.
Welcome home.
Thank you so much for the reset. 14 months. Wow, that is a long time. That is a very long time indeed. Oh my goodness, it's weird to think. It's weird to think I'm still doing this and that any of y'all are still here. Oh jeez, there were moments. There's just been moments in the last few weeks where I've considered just packing it in altogether because I've just been unendingly tired. Like, compared this March to last May, and honestly this is significantly worse than last May. And last May I got COVID, so that kind of puts it in perspective. It's just been like one pitfall after another. Like, I keep thinking I'm going back and then I'm not, and it just hurts more every single time it doesn't work. Every single time I think I'm okay again, and I'm not. And it just takes it out of me completely. And I do feel like my chair is gradually sinking. Every time I look at it, it seems like it's so much closer to the floor. And looking at my cam now, I realize it's actually off. It should be up here. Which means I'm, like, even lower in my chair than usual. I should not be down here. Correct? I feel like I should not be down here. I should not be down here. What the fuck is my chair doing? I knew it! I knew it! It sunk! I am back, and so is K2. I knew it. I was like, it's not my eyes playing a trick on me. My chair had been sinking. Oh. But yeah, I started doing this thing where I have a notepad of things to talk about. So what happened that one time we streamed Left 4 Dead won't happen again, so I'm sat here like, I don't know what to do. Because that was pretty bad. Like, I don't know much about what it means to be a professional streamer, but I'm pretty sure sitting here going, I'm out, guys, I got nothing. It's not great. It's not great etiquette. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I also wrote a list of the etiquette that's you're meant to do for when you get a raid, because there's a lot of steps and I do end up forgetting half of them. But one of the first things I saw, my brother showed me when I started streaming, was literally like a video on tips for streaming. One was about lighting that I still haven't really figured out. But one of them was like, keep a list of talking points. And I was just like, I don't need that. Well, that was me told. But yeah. I've just been having a really weird time. Oh, jeez, I think one of the dumbest things is I was going to go to my parents last Tuesday. In fact, I did go to my parents last Tuesday, but I ended up going on the later bus because I got an email the day before saying, hey, you have a job centre appointment. So I was like, alright. It was at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was like, alright, I'll go to that. I'll bring my overnight bag. Overnight's like 4. Ended up being away for like 3 full days. And I was like, I'll bring my bag to there, and then I'll go to like the cafe or whatever, and then I'll go to the bus stop, the bus station, since you usually get the bus station out there instead of walking back and forth. I was in the job centre for about 15 minutes when they came up to me and said, you don't have an appointment today, that's next week. But I got a fucking email from them saying, hey, you have an appointment tomorrow. 4:15. No, I fucking didn't. That was annoying. I could have gone to my parents a lot earlier in the day. And I did end up going to the cafe a lot earlier, which was actually a good thing, because they close at 5, buses at 6. So, that was fun. So I ended up calling my sister, and was like, hey, you home? And she's like, no, I'm working. I was like, oh, great, okay. And then she's like, oh yeah, but my partner and the girls are at the flat if you want to go hang out. And I did. And me and her partner talked about horrible histories. And I got to cuddle my nieces a little bit. Melody crawled on me a little bit, which was really cute, especially since she was just in a onesie. For the first half an hour I was there, she was still naked from her bath. She was just like, no clothes. Fuck clothes. But no, then she was in a little onesie, and she was like, Auntie Sarah! And it's the cutest thing in the world when she does that. But yeah, I got to hang out with them for a bit, and that was nice. That was really nice. Oh... Geez, I'm looking at my list and I'm actually telling it all out, all in the wrong order. I actually had my job centre appointment today, but then my work coach messaged me saying, hey, I'm sick, so I have to reschedule. So that's just job centre, just never gonna happen again, it seems like. But yeah, Tuesday was weird because all that stuff happened, and that morning was one of those mornings where I woke up at 7 a.m. and I thought, I'm gonna get up. Yeah, that didn't last. That lasted about maybe 40 minutes. I was like, I'm going to go back to bed. And in doing so, I had one of the most vivid nightmares I have ever had. And it had like a plot. And I was playing a character. It was very, very strange. Like the basic plot was big old house that hadn't been lived in for some time. I was Anna. And... my sister was a girl named Emma, and she was extremely volatile. I was, like, the more bookish one, which kind of tracks. And our mum had just moved back in after having a baby. And we're, like, both grown-up daughters. The house was, like, not like in a ruin, but it was definitely had not been lived in for a long time, and it was really, really creepy. I remember actually thinking in the dream, like, okay, the spooks are a bit much. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think that the simultaneously dumbest and scariest part was that I think you guys are familiar with Mr. Russell Morrow. He's been around on Twitch for a while. He's been in chat a couple of times. I'm not sure if he's here right now, but he was there, which is funny because I don't know what he looks like. I actually don't even know if he is a he, but he was there, except instead of having a head, it was just his Twitter profile picture, which I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's literally just like a cartoon face. So that was like, kind of took you out of it a little bit. It was just because he was just there with like a normal body, but then cartoon square with a head drawn on it. So that was really weird. The not funny part of that was he was a photographer, and he like let me use his camera, which is funny because I already have a camera, but maybe Anna didn't, because I was somebody else in the dream. And through the viewfinder, I kept seeing this creepy, burnt little girl running around, like through the doorways. And at one point, she like came right up to me giggling, and it was so fucking terrifying. It was horrifying. I hated it. Oh, that was not very nice. That isn't even where the dream ends, though. The dream ends when me and my sister, who I'm pretty sure was dead the entire time and was actually a ghost and may have actually even been the little girl and I was just projecting, discovered that the reason that the house had been empty and why my parents were being weird and my mum had had a baby is because she'd been kidnapped for 8 days and the pregnancy was the result of that. And that's what, like, there's something happened in that house connected to that, which the little burnt little girl was involved in. It was extremely weird and very disturbing, and the best part was when I woke up because Toby stretched and touched my butt with his paw. Thanks, Tokes. I didn't want to be in that dream, so thank you for touching my butt. Yeah, that was weird. That was my Tuesday. That was bloody weird. It was bloody weird. But it doesn't end there. Actually, I'm not even sure what I've got left to talk about. It's even worth it. But Friday was very weird as well. See, this is what happens when I don't stream for a while. I just get stuff happening that stacks up that I want to talk about. So we're just going to be here for a while. But yeah, Friday was weird. Then I woke up at 7 AM again, but this one was because of another asthma attack. They seem to like waking me up at 7 AM. I could hardly freaking breathe, which was really annoying. And that day, it was a very long one and a very weird one. Oh, I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Good movie. Didn't stick with me, though, as much as the other film that I did actually talk about in Discord very briefly. I don't know if any of you have seen it, and if you haven't, I apologise because I will be spoiling the fuck out of it, although I will try and keep the actual details vague. I watched Nope by Jordan Peele. Not seen any of his other films, although I've definitely heard about them. It was really, really, really good. Like, a really good film. I honestly loved it. However, I don't think I want to talk about it because it spoils it. It's such a good movie and I do want to watch it again, although it did absolutely fuck me up and there was a point where I literally couldn't watch anymore and I had to leave the room. Because what I put in Discord was, nope, in a nutshell, some things are better left up to the imagination. And one of those things is... This really fucked me up. It actually made me feel sick. I actually thought I was going to throw up. But the film was so damn good. And the ending was amazing. And it was actually like really well imagined and well put together. And I do want to watch it again. Like properly without walking out or shielding my eyes or covering my ears. Because that's definitely a thing that happened while I was watching it. Oh, jeez. This is annoying. Because it was a really, really good film and I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, that... Jeez. It was such a good film. Okay, there is a point where up to about 40 people, including 2 who have suffered deep trauma already in their lives, suffer one of the worst deaths I have ever seen put to screen. It was horrendous. The sound design was a little too good. There was a point where I had my hands over my ears and I just kept muttering under my breath to give you context. It's just brakes screeching. That's it. It's just brakes screeching. It's nothing else. No, it's only March, but Nope is probably the best film I've seen this year. And that film fucked me up quite badly. It was brilliant. And I need to see it again in a way, because I wimped out the first time. And you guys know me. You know that fictional characters are as important to me as real living people in my own life and over the internet and wherever in between. I owe it to those 40 people. To stick with it. Because by the end of that afternoon, my mum took me out in the garden and was just showing me her plants. And I could hardly focus. But because by the end of it, I didn't feel sick anymore. I just felt extremely sad. Like, that's gonna stay with me for a very long time. Those 40 people. If you guys haven't seen Nope, I'd say it's definitely worth watching at least once. Although I do warn you, if you have a weak stomach, there's a part in the middle you might not enjoy too much. But the build-up, tension, the sound design, the casting, the acting, the finale, absolutely superb. And I think the funniest thing about all of this, if you could even find a funny thing, is it had both Keith David and Michael Wincott in it, that film. And literally the next morning, because I'd never seen it before or played it myself, JJ showed me the story for Halo 2, and I was like, so, who voices the Prophet of Truth? And he looks it up, and I look it up, and then we both just go, well, I was not expecting that, because it was fucking Michael Wincott. We just looked at the guy's face, and they were just like, I wonder if Jordan Peele knew that he was reuniting the Arbiter and the Prophet of Truth with that movie. Very good voice, Michael Wincott. He had a good role in Nope. But yeah, that was a damn good film that I'm not going to forget in a hurry. Not to diminish my experience of Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was also fantastic. Like, very, very, very good. Crazy. Like, absolutely mental, but with multiverse stuff it kind of always is. And sad. It wasn't like very sad, but it definitely like tugged at your heartstrings. I definitely teared up on a couple of occasions. And the acting was just brilliant across the board. Like, everybody who won awards for that deserved to win the awards for that. I mean, Michelle Yeoh. Like, people... It's crazy to think that people are only just now discovering Michelle Yeoh. She's been in films for as long as I can remember. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sunshine. God, there's more. There's so many more. She's just been everywhere for as long as I can remember. What else was she? Oh gosh, she was in the terrible third Mummy movie, which I didn't get, like, more than 20 minutes into. But then recasting Rachel Weisz was a weird choice for that one. And on the list of films I'll never watch, The Whale. Just can't do it. I watched Critical Drinker's video on it and that was enough. It looked good though, and I'm glad Brendan Fraser's made his comeback. He's deserved it more than a lot of people. Oh my gosh, Tomorrow Never Dies! Of course, she was a Bond girl. It's crazy to think. I gotta look this girl up. I did the other day. She's just been there, like, forever. And of course, you know they're actually really good at what they do when on Wikipedia they have a separate page for their performances. So I'm trying to think what I've seen her in. Tomorrow Never Dies, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Memoirs of a Geisha, Sunshine, Babylon AD, Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, Koof, Kung Fu Panda 2. I don't think I ever actually watched that. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Cameo. I didn't watch that one either. Last Christmas, of course. I loved her in Last Christmas. Last Christmas was a really quite kind of obscure film with Emilia Clarke in it. I like Emilia Clarke best when she's playing normal people. She doesn't do the action stuff very well. And of course, Michelle Yeoh was in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. But yeah, she's just been around for as long as I can remember. I actually forgot she was in Memoirs of a Geisha, but I only watched that film. Actually, I possibly watched it more than once because I did have a thing for Ken Watanabe at the time. Handsome dude. Handsome dude. But yeah. Oh, Tomorrow Never Dies. To be honest, I'll be honest, the only Pierce Brosnan James Bond film I actually like is Die Another Day. I know it's the worst one. I know it's the one that ended his career as James Bond, but I love that movie. It's so stupid. I tried rewatching GoldenEye, but I just didn't care. It was long and overblown. I can't criticize it for being dumb because I like Die Another Day, so. But yeah, Die Another Day was like actually one of my first lady crushes, Halle Berry. Like, damn. I watched that film over and over again when I was a kid and loved it. I tried watching other Pierce Brosnan ones, but none of them held a candle to that absolute dumpster fire of a film. Oh, the amount of one fucking liners, Saved by the Bell, that Time to Draw a Line. How's that for a punchline? Punches him in the stomach. Read this with a knife in a book. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But I love it. I love it. That film is like a staple of my childhood. Jesus shit. But I wouldn't give it up for the world.